was not feeling the cozy Hallmark Christmas romance books this year at all, so I skipped those sweet small town books and only read unhinged, dark, and completely chaotic holiday romances instead. Some of them were a mess, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna walk you through here today what I actually think is worth reading. Hey everyone, welcome to Under the Covers. I'm Francesca, and normally this time of year I would be curled up with small town Christmas, some hot cocoa, and some cinnamon roll heroes. But this year I've got zero interest. I don't know what it is, my brain just rejected anything that felt too cozy and too Hallmarky when it comes to books. But I still wanted the holiday vibes. I've read all the books that I'm going to talk about here today. Most of them are pretty spicy. Also, while I wasn't reading those cozy Christmas books, I have been binging Christmas movies for weeks, and I've put together a full 2025 holiday movie schedule across platforms on the blog. I update it with my thoughts as I watch the movies, and I'm going to link that in the description if you also want to stalk my movie brain. But let's get started. The first one is the lightest flavor of Unhinged on this list, so we're going to ease you into it, and it's Undead and Unwed by Tschida. So our heroine Tiffany is a 300-year-old vampire. She's basically a hot mess. She's tragically single, working at a blood bank, and binging Hallmark movies with her cat. So after a stolen identity situation, she inherits this crumbling house in Valentine, Vermont, and decides, fine, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna live my own Hallmark movie as a vampire. So she drags her newly undead neighbor along, totally accidental by the way, and there she finds this hot Christmas tree farmer, lots of weird small town secrets, and her insufferable vampire ex pops back up. So for me, this one felt totally like a Hallmark movie, but make it paranormal, and with actual talk about therapy and self-acceptance. It's very cozy, but still very weird. So if you're not ready to go full Stalker or Hitman mode, then this one is a great one to warm you up. Now, on the complete other end of the spectrum, we have Elf on the Edge by Alina. You might have seen my recommendation short for my Hitman holiday romance, but in this one, our heroine gets left at the altar on Christmas Eve when her evil stepsister confesses she's been in a relationship with her fiance, and he actually agrees and says he's in love with her. Fast forward to a year later, now we're back at Christmas again, and she's the one working at her grandma's cafe, planning her ex-fiance's and stepsister's engagement party and then later wedding, and it's basically turning into a horrible situation for her. So her friends decide that what she needs to do is hire a high-end escort to bring as her fake date to the engagement party. Except that after a couple of drinks, instead of hiring a high-end escort, she actually hired a hitman. So Talbot shows up. He's 6'5", ex-Marine, totally unhinged, flirty with her grandma, he's drinking all the booze, he's fully prepared to actually kill her ex. And she has to physically stop the murder and then drag this hitman around to all the Christmas events, pretending like they're fake dating, while he just wants to finish the job and go snowboarding. This one is super loud and messy and actually very spicy, and I personally had a lot of fun with all of that chaos. So if you want a Christmas rom-com that feels like a fever dream, this is definitely going to be your pick. Now for my next pick, we're actually going to go full Santa mode, and that is A Man for Mrs. Claus by Rebekah Weatherspoon, which is so fun conceptually and executed so well. Mrs. Claus has just lost her third Santa, and the angels and elves are like, well, we have 3 days to find this woman a new husband and a new Santa before Christmas. So like, no pressure, right? Tiffany St. Nicholas is very much in like CEO of the North Pole mode. She deeply cares about making Christmas happen and not for her own feelings as much. And they basically have this competition with potential Santa candidates, and they have just a couple of days to figure out who is going to be the new Santa. Except there's this one candidate who is ridiculously kind and actually sees her. He wants to be her true partner, not just the guy in the suit. What I liked here is that it keeps all of that North Pole magic, the elves and all of that, but it really centers Mrs. Claus's happiness and gives her a real romance arc. It's still fun, it's still festive, but it's definitely not your standard guy in plaid that moves to a small town story. I think you'll really enjoy it. But if you're ready to go into dark romance territory, let's start with He Sees You When You're Sleeping by Alta Hensley. We have Chloe, who is a jewelry influencer, getting ready to spend another Christmas alone. And she's drawn to two men, a fan of her secret, more seductive online persona, and Jack, the firefighter next door type who's always there when she needs help, but maybe he's a little bit too vanilla for her. What she doesn't know is that Jack was the first responder to the accident that killed her family 2 Christmases ago, and he's been obsessed with protecting her ever since. He's been stalking her basically, and he is both of those men. This is the perfect Christmas stalker romance with firehouse vibes, ugly sweaters, some holiday lights, and yeah, a guy that watches you from outside the window. It's still very much possessive, morally gray MMC energy, and if you like your Christmas sweet, this might not be it, but it's actually so fun, and if you wanted a holiday romance that leans a little bit more into obsession and doesn't take itself too seriously, I think this one definitely delivers. And then after you finish that one, you can continue on with the series because we have the follow-up, He Knows When You're Awake, also by Alta Hensley. In this one, we have Sloane, who is a jewelry designer. We meet her in the first book. She's the best friend of our heroine, and she wants to launch her own brand, but her bank account says no. But then there's Cole Asher, the billionaire recluse with enemies. He has been watching her for work and basically says, I'm gonna fund your dreams, but you have to move it into my penthouse and design your line under my watch, and it has to launch before Christmas. So it's basically a billionaire stalker romance with forced proximity in a Manhattan penthouse with snow and Christmas lights and sweaters and some BDSM and also some real danger when his world touches hers. Between the two, I definitely enjoy this one more. It feels also a little bit more like over-the-top fantasy. It's rich, indulgent, a little extra, but if you like the idea of someone obsessively backing your dreams and also possibly ruining people for you, this one is perfect for that. Then we're starting to get a little bit more out there with Scrooged for the Holidays by Kayla Grosse. This is an MMMF, Paranormal Nephilim Guardians romance, plus a very frosty heroine. Greer is an ice queen businesswoman who does not believe in Christmas miracles or Christmas magic. She believes in power and money. So she gets snowed into this secret mountain town called Elysian Pines, and she meets Malachi, Remiel, and Samael, three not quite human men who are clearly connected to her in ways that she doesn't understand. And then she starts getting visions of her past, present, and future. It's basically a Christmas Carol retold as a spicy, paranormal romance. I mean, it's just to die for. But also, it's actually quite emotional. There's a lot of emotional healing, found family vibes, and yes, there's lots of steam. If you want something that is maximum unhinged but with actual heart underneath, this one definitely goes there. But now if you're thinking, okay, Francesca, that's pretty unhinged, but there's no way you can top an MMMF Nephilim Christmas Carol romance, well, I regret to inform you that I can. With Krampus. Okay, so I saved the most unhinged one for last. This is Paddled by the Krampus by Harley Laroux. This is a short, super kinky Krampus novella where the entire plot is basically, you've been very, very naughty, and Krampus is here to correct that. So our heroine is a magic apprentice who's been lying and stealing potions and generally just being a menace. So she steals the wrong thing and gets magically overwhelmed, and then Krampus shows up like, hi, I'm your consequences. This has that full monster romance vibe, heavy kink and impact play, a very strict magical mentor, and one extremely memorable scene involving a Christmas tree that you probably should not attempt at home. Now, this is definitely not romance light. This is not like an oops, I kissed my grumpy coworker under the mistletoe. This is basically, I want full-on filthy holiday monster fantasy in less than 100 pages. If that's not your lane, then totally skip it. But if it is your lane, you're welcome. So that was my completely unplanned journey away from the cozy Hallmark style holiday romance books and straight into the dark, unhinged, and paranormal side of Christmas. Honestly, it was exactly what my reading brain needed this year. Zero small town cookie bakeries and maximum chaos and spice. But if you're in the mood for more traditional holiday romances, there's tons of recommendations over on the blog. So I'm going to leave that linked down below. Plus, you definitely need to check out my video with snowbound Christmas romances because every single year I have to read at least one snowbound Christmas romance. Those are just the rules. I don't make them. I'm going to leave that video link so you can check it out, and also my Santa romance book recommendations so you can binge all of that after this one. And if you're more in the movie mood, don't forget that I've got that whole 2025 holiday movie schedule and my reactions over on the blog, so I'm going to leave that link in the description so you can check it out. If you found a new unhinged Christmas book to read from this video, let me know which one in the comments. And if you have one to recommend to me, also let me know in the comments because I'm going to be looking for more. But for now, that is all I have for you guys. Happy reading, happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!